Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Podcast. Today is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2019. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's baseball games, look ahead to today's games, preview and pick today's World Cup semifinals game, and look back on yesterday's game. Wimbelton, go over yesterday's and this morning's results, and look ahead to tomorrow. Kawhi Leonard, we'll talk about him and his pending decision. But if we get breaking news on Kawhi Leonard while in the middle of the podcast, I'll certainly break it to you. And my best bet of the day. All right, we're going to start in baseball. All 30 teams were in action yesterday, and they're all night games. We're going to start with the Mets defeating the Yankees 4-2. The Mets improved to 39-47. The Yanks dropped to 54-29. Seth Lugo, the win, he's 4-2. Adam Ottavino, the loss, 3-3. Edwin Diaz gets his 18th save of the year. This game ended the Yankees' home run streak at 31 games, and DJ LeMahieu had a long hitting streak as well that ended. James Paxton started for the Yankees, 6 innings, 8 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 4.09. Zach Wheeler, 6 in the third innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, ERA 4.42. Nationals over to Marlins 3-2 on a walk-off double by Trey Turner. Nats are 43-41. Miami's 32-51. Sean Doolittle gets the win. He's 5-2. The losing pitcher for the Marlins dropping to 0-2 on the season, Jose Quijada. Patrick Corbin started for the Nationals and was great and pitched in honor of his former teammate Tyler Skaggs, who passed away, obviously, on Monday. 7 innings, 6 hits, and a run, no walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 3.55. Zach Allen, 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, ERA 4.5. Pirates over the Cubs 5-1. The Pirates are 41-43. The Cubs are 45-41. The winning pitcher for the Pirates improving to 1-0, Clay Holmes. The losing pitcher, Kyle Hendricks, coming off the IL. He's 7-6. Joe Musgrove started, 3 innings, a hit, no earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, here at 4.13. Something must have happened because he was pulled from the game early. Hendricks was not great. 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, rate 3.45 while it was his first game back. Red Sox over the Blue Jays 10-6. Boston 45-40. Toronto's 32-54. David Price the win, 6-2. Trenton Thornton the loss, 2-6. Price 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, rate 3.33. Trent Thornton 2.2 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs, a walk, and a strikeout, ERA 5.18. Rays over the Orioles 6-3. The Rays are 50-36. Baltimore's 24-61. Charlie Morton the win, he's 9-2. Dropping to 0-1 on the year. Asher Wojciechowski for the Orioles. Wojciechowski 5 in the third innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 6.75. Charlie Morton 7 innings, 4 hits, and a run and walk, 12 strikeouts, ERA 2.36. He's been great for Tampa this year. The Reds over the Brewers 5-4 on a walk-off single by Jose Iglesias. Run scores on an error by MVP favorite Christian Yelich. Reds go to 39-44. Milwaukee 46-40. Raciel Iglesias gets the win. He's 2-7. Corbin Burns the loss, 1-4. Tanner Roark 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, ERA 3.51. Chase Anderson 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 4.31. Phillies over the Braves 2-0. The Phils are 45-40. Big win for them. Braves dropped to 50-36. Aaron Nola to win 7-2. Dallas Keuchel lost 1-2. Hector Neris got his 17th save of the year. Nola 8 innings, 4 hits, no one runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 3.89. He looked like the Aaron Nola from last year. Dallas Keuchel 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 4.08. Just that he didn't get any run support and Nola outpitched him. Angels over the Rangers 9-4. Angels 43-43. Texas 46-39. Very classy of the Rangers to honor Tyler Skaggs before the game. Emotional win for the Angels. Trevor Cahill goes to 3-6. Dropping to 0-2 for the Rangers on the season, Peter Fairbanks. Inspired win for the Angels. The starter for them in this game was actually Jose Suarez. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 5.4. Mike Minor, 4 in the third innings, 2 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 2.54. Astros over the Rockies 9-8. The Astros are 54-32. Colorado 44-41. Will Harris the win, he's 3-1. Jake McGee the loss, he's 0-1. Roberto Osuna gets his 18th save of the season. Starting for Houston was Jose Urquidy. 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, ERA 4.91. Herman Marquez, 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts, ERA 4.38. Indians over the Royals 9-5. Cleveland is 46-38. KC is 29-57. Trevor Bauer to win, he's 7-6. Jacob Junis lost 4-8. Athletics over the Twins 8-6. A's go to 47-39. Minnesota 53-31. Daniel Mengden the win, he's 3-1. Jake Odorizzi the loss 10-4. Liam Hendricks gets his 3rd save of the season. Mengden 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 4.67. Jake Odorizzi, rough start. 3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 3.15. Dodgers over the Diamondbacks 5-4 on a walk-off, bases-loaded walk by Cody Bellinger. Dodgers go to 58-29. Arizona 43-44. Yimi Garcia gets the win, he's 2-1. Greg Holland the loss 1-1. Ross Stripling started 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 3.45. Taylor Clark 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout, ERA 6.21. Giants over the Padres 10-2. The Giants are 38-47. San Diego's 42-43. Tyler Beede the win, he's 2-3. Matt Strom the loss 3-7. Good start for Beede, 7 innings, 4 hits, and a run, no walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 5.64. Going for the Padres was Matt Strom, 5 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs, and walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 5.42. Mariners over the Cardinals 5-4. Seattle 38-51. St. Louis 41-42. The winning pitcher for the Mariners, Austin Adams, he's 1-0. Gallegos the loss 1-1. And Robbie Elias got his 11th save of the year. The opener for Seattle was Matt Caracidi. An inning and 2 hits, an earned run, and a strikeout, ERA 2.25. Wade LeBlanc comes in after 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, and a run, 2 walks, and a strikeout, ERA 5.02. Jack Flaherty, 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 4.9. He took a step back this year. I lied when I said that all 30 teams were in action because Tigers White Sox got rained out. Makeup Day, September 27th, which I think is going to be a meaningless baseball game. Today's games at 2 o'clock. Doubleheader, Game 1, Tigers White Sox. You have Danny Norris against Dylan Cease. Cease making his big league debut. He came over in the Jose Quintana deal with Eloy Jimenez. 6 o'clock, Marlins Nationals. Sandy Alcantara and Steven Strasburg. 7 o'clock, ESPN, Yankees Mets. Domingo Germán and Jason Vargas. Tough call here. I'm tempted to say that the Mets will sweep the Yankees. I'm tempted to say it, but I think it's fluky that the Mets bullpen actually pitched well last night, and I think the Yankees are sort of dealing with a post-London hangover, although people will be like, oh, well, the Red Sox won last night. Well, hangovers normally happen when you win, not when you lose. Normally when you lose, you're more motivated, and after you win, you kind of take a step back and chill, and so this is a tough call. Germán comes off the injured list, but I'm not sold that he's the guy that was 9-1 earlier in the year. To me, he's more like the guy that we saw in those couple starts before the IL. And that's the case against the Yanks. All signs point to the Mets because I'm not a believer in Germán. Vargas has actually been decent this year, and he pitched well against the Yankees this year. But I'm going to take the Yanks. I don't think the Mets bullpen is going to be pitching scoreless innings again. So Give me the Yankees solely because of the Mets bullpen. Cubs Pirates. Yu Darvish and Chris Archer. Battle of overrated pitchers in that one. Red Sox Blue Jays. Chris Sale against Jacob Waguespack. Orioles Rays. Jalen Means against Ryan Stanek. Stanek's the opener. Means made the All-Star team for the Orioles. He's having a good year for them. Brewers Reds, Julius Chassin and Sonny Gray. Phillies Braves. Nick Pivetta and Bryce Wilson. 8 o'clock Angels Rangers. Going to be another emotional game. Griffin Canning and Ariel Gerardo. Doubleheader game 2, Tigers White Sox. You have making his debut for the Tigers, Tyler Alexander against Ross Detwiller. Astros Rockies, Wade Miley and Peter Lambert. Lambert's been pretty good since coming up, but he wasn't very good against the Dodgers in his last time out. 8:15 Angels Royals. Mike Clevenger against Danny Duffy. 9 o'clock Twins Athletics. Kyle Gibson and Mike Fiers. Giants Padres. Sean Anderson and Cal Quantrill. 10 o'clock Diamondbacks Dodgers. Merrill Kelly against Walker Buehler. That's going to be a good game. Buehler obviously didn't pitch well in his last time out against the Rockies. Cardinals Mariners. Adam Wainwright and Mike Leake. All right, soccer. Semifinals. Yesterday, the United States defeated England 2-1. This was a crazy, crazy game. England could have tied it at 2 apiece 2 different times, but they called offsides. And then they had a penalty kick, which was saved by the goaltender of the United States, Naher. So, great win for the United States. They're in the finals. Kristen Press gets the United States on the board 1-0, and she's obviously filling in for Megan Ramapo, which, if she's not back for the title game, this team's pretty good. I don't know if they'll miss her. When I heard that Rapinoe wasn't gonna play for United States yesterday, it made me a little nervous. But they proved that they could do it without her. England is better than who they're gonna end up facing in the finals. So I'm not suggesting it's an automatic that United States is gonna win. I'm just saying that I think it got a little easier for them getting by England, and then in the previous round, France. Ellen White ties the game for England at 1 apiece in the 19th minute. Alex Morgan gives U.S. a 2-1 lead in the 31st minute. And then in the 86th minute, Millie Bright gets the red card. But a lot of crazy things in this game. And United States survives and moves on. 3 o'clock on Fox today, the Netherlands and Sweden. This game, obviously, the winner faces the United States, and I'm going to take the Netherlands here. I think they're the better team. Sweden's been on a nice run. I like what they've done, but I just think the Netherlands are better, and they are deeper. I really do like Stephanie Vandergraat and Vivienne Miedema. They have some other great talented players on their squad, too, such as Leaky Martens, who scored both goals in their round of 16 game against Japan. So giving the Netherlands to win to take on the United States on Sunday in the game for the gold medals. So, or the final, I should say, gold medals of the Olympics. But Netherlands, I expect to move on here. They're just the better team, although I think it'll be a competitive game, just like yesterday's England-US game was as well. All right, now we'll move on to the Wimbelton. We're going to start with the men's. We're going to go over yesterday's results, and this morning's results and talk about what's going on currently. And then we're going to pick everything going on tomorrow. And yes, I'm doing a podcast tomorrow very early. And we'll fill you in on what happens tomorrow morning on tomorrow's podcast. So, like I said, I'm going to go over yesterday's results and this morning's results and then pick tomorrow's matches. All right, here we go. Alex Demeanor over Marco Centenato in 3 sets. 18-seeded Nicolas Basilashvili over James Ward in 5 sets. Dan Evans over Federico Delbonis in 3 sets. 8-seeded Kei Nishioka over Thiago Monteiro in 3 sets. Steve Johnson over Albert Ramos Vinolas in 3 sets. Nick Kyrgios over Jordan Thompson in 5 sets. Marcos Baghdatis over Braden Schnorr in 3 sets. Matteo Berrettini over Elijah Bedini in 4 sets. How about this for an upset? Dominic Thiem gets upset by Sam Querrey in 4 sets. 20-seeded Gil Simone over Salvador Caruso in 3 sets. Cameron Norrie over Dennis Istomin in 3 sets. Andrei Rublev over Kristen Garin in 4 sets. Dominic Kofor over Filip Krajinovic in 4 sets. Jake Clark over Noah Rubin in 4 sets. 2-seeded Roger Federer over Lloyd Harris in 4 sets. Tenny Sandgren over Yustaka Ushimaya in 4 sets. Joe Wilfred Songa over Bernard Tomic in 3 sets. Jan Leonard Struff over Radu Albert in 3 sets. Taylor Fritz over Thomas Bredich in 3 sets. 24-seeded Diego Schwartzman over Matthew Edman in 4 sets. Another upset, you had Ricardas Berankis over 29-seeded Denis Shapovalov in 3 sets. 3-seeded Rafael Nadal over Yuichi Sugita in 3 sets. 12-seeded Fabio Fognini over Francis Tiafoe in 5. That was a great match. John Millman over Hugo Dellien in 3 sets. Mikhail Kushkinin over Pablo Andujar in 3 sets. Georgi Berari over Alexander Bublik in 4 sets. Laszlo Djiri over Guido Anderozzi in 4 sets. Martin Fucsovics over Denis Novak in 4 sets. 13-seeded Marin Cilic over Adrian Manarino in 3 sets. Joao Sousa over Paul Jubb in 4 sets. John Isner over Casper Ruud in 3 sets. And 27-seeded Lucas Pioli over Richard Gasquet in 3 sets. Now, this morning's results that have been completed. You had Jiri Vesely over Pablo Cuevas in 4 sets. Riley Okpela over 22-seeded Stan Wawrinka in 5 sets, so that's an upset. 11-seeded Daniil Medvedev over Alexei Popyrin in 4 sets. Thomas Fabiano over Ivo Karlovic in 5 sets. Hubert Hurkacz over Leonardo Mayer in 4 sets. 21-seeded Daniel Goffin over Jeremy Chardy in 3 sets. 15-seeded Milos Raonic over Robin Haas in 3 sets. 23-seeded Roberto Bautista Agut over Steve Darchis in 3 sets. That was retired. 10-seeded Karen Kakdavov over Feliciano Lopez in 4 sets. And going on right now as we speak, you have 30-seeded Kyle Edmund against Fernando Verdasco. You have Andrea Seppi against Guido Pella. You have Marvel Granollers against Hugo Humbert going on right now. You have Felix Auger Alisami against Corentin Motet. And 4-seeded Kevin Anderson against Janko Tispovic going on as we speak. And in another final, you have 28-seeded Benoit Paire over Miomir Kekmanovic in 3 sets. That was retired. Still to come, just one match. It's a big one. 1-seeded Novak Djokovic against Denis Kudla. I think Djokovic is going to win that one easily, I'd say. And now on to tomorrow's matches. You have John Millman against 31-seeded Laszlo Djiri. I'm going to take John Millman here in an upset. I like what Millman has done in this tournament. And I like Djiri, but I just trust Millman better. I won't be surprised if Millman's favored in this match. Then you also have tomorrow Jan-Lennard Struff against Taylor Fritz. I'm going to go with Jan-Lennard Struff here. And then you have Sam Querrey against Andrei Rublev. Querrey obviously coming off that big upset, and I think that Querrey's going to carry some of that momentum into this matchup coming with Rublev. You have Steve Johnson against 25-seeded Alex Demeanor. I like Demeanor there. 8-seeded Kei Nishioka against Cameron Norrie. I'm going to go with Nishioka there. 13-seeded Marin Cilic against Joao Sousa. I'm taking Cilic there. You have Dan Evans against 18-seeded Nicolas Basilashvili. I'm going to go with Basilashvili there. You have Mikhail Kukushkin against John Isner. Kukushkin's been on a nice run. He pulled off an upset in the first round. I think his magical run comes to an end here against Isner, who is just a better tennis player. Then you have Ricardus Berankis against Dan Evans. Oh no, my bad, against Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. My bad there. I'm going to go with Jo-Wilfried Tsonga there. He's just the better tennis player. Although Berankis winning would not surprise me. You have 2-seeded Roger Federer against Jay Clark. I'm going to go with Federer there. You have 27-seeded Lucas Pioli against Grigori Bari. I'm going to go with Poulet there. You have Gil Simone against Tenny Sandgren. We're going to go with Gil Simone. And this is one of my favorite matches in the second round. Marton Fucsovics against Fabio Fognini. I'm going to go Fognini there. I just think that's competitive. And here's another good one. You have Nick Kyrgios against 3-seeded Rafael Nadal. I think Nadal could be upset here, although I don't think it's going to happen. I think it could go 5 sets. I think Kyrgios is really good. He's a tennis player that's on the come, but I think that Nadal wins here. And then you have Dominic Kofer against Diego Schwartzman. Schwartzman's 24 seed. I'm going to go with Schwartzman there. And last but not least, Matteo Berrettini against Marcos Bogdas, I'm going to go with Berrettini in that match. Now we'll switch over to the women's side of things. I'm going to do exactly what I did with the men. Go over Tuesday's results, go over today's results so far, and then pick tomorrow's as well. Alrighty. Wang Qiang defeats Vera Lapko in 2 sets. Harriet Dart over Christina McHale in 3 sets. Ekaterina Alexandrova over Katerina Siniakova in 3 sets. We have an upset, Barbora Strykova over 32-seeded Lesia Sarenko in 2 sets. Alison Van Udevank over Svetlana Kuznetsova in 3 sets. 21-seeded Elise Mertens over Fiona Ferro in 2 sets. Kaya Kanepi over Stefani Vogelli in 3 sets. Monica Nalescu over Andrea Petkovic in 3 sets. 9-seeded Solane Stevens over Tamaya Basinski in 2 sets. Lauren Davis over Katarina Kozlova in 2 sets. 5-seeded Angelique Kerber over Tajana Maria in 2 sets. Majda Lynette over Anna Kalyasenka in 2 sets. 1-seeded Ashley Barty over Sasai Zhang in 2 sets. Vitalia Diachenko over Kristina Majnovic in 3 sets. Wang Yafan over Teresa Martinkova in 2 sets. Laura Siegman over Katie Swan in 2 sets. You also had Tamara Zadancic over Eugene Bouchard in 3 sets. 13-seeded Belinda Bencic over Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in 2 sets. 19-seeded Johanna Konta over Anna Bogdan in 2 sets. 25-seeded Amanda Amisinova over Sorona Saresta in 2 sets. You had an upset, Beatriz Haddad Maya over Gabrine Migurska in 2 sets. You had Ivana Jorovic over Leslie Kirkove in 2 sets. 30-seeded Carla Suarez Navarro over Samantha Stusser in 2 sets. Pauline Parmentier over Maria Sharapova in 3 sets that retired. 18-seeded Julia Georges over Elena Gabriela Rus in 2 sets. 6-seeded Petra Kvitova over Jabor in 2 sets. 11-seeded Serena Williams over Giulia Gatto Montacone in 2 sets. Kaja Juvan over Kristina Pliskova in 3 sets. You also have Taylor Towson over Arena Radianova in 2 sets. Kiki Bertens over Mandy Minella in 2 sets. Bertens your 4 seed. And an upset, you had Allison Risk defeating 22-seeded Donna Vekic in 3 sets. All right. This morning's action that's final. You have 31-seeded Maria Sakkari over Marie Buskova in 2 sets. You had Karolina Muchova over Madison Brangle in 2 sets. 8-seeded Elena Civiltinia over Margarita Gasparian in 2 sets as it was retired. Victoria Azarenka over Ajla Tomljevic in 2 sets. 28-seeded Hissy Sui over Kristen Flipkins in 2 sets. 3-seeded Carolina Pliskova over Monica Puig in 2 sets. So I thought that match would be a little bit more competitive. You had Annette Kontaveit over Heather Watson in 2 sets. You have Victoria Golubic over Yulia Putintseva in 2 sets. You have Diana Yastremka over 27-seeded Sofia Kenin in 3 sets. 7-seeded Simona Halep over Mihaela Buznekru in 3 sets. And Zhang over Wickmeyer in 2 sets. 5 more matches to go. You have Danielle Collins going up against Anastasia Sevastova. That's your 12 seed. I'm going with Sevastova there. 24-seeded Petra Martic against Anastasia Potapova. We're going to go Martic there. I'm going to take 14-seeded Caroline Wozniacki over Veronika Kudermetova. I'm going to go with Corey Goff over Magdalena Rabiakova, although I think that one's going to be competitive. And then I'm going to go with 17-seeded Madison Keys over Polona Hercog. All right, now I'm going to pick tomorrow's matches. 6 o'clock in the morning, I have Harriet Dart against Beatriz Haddad Maya. I'm going to go with Haddad Maya here. I don't feel super about it, but I like how Beatriz has played throughout the tournament thus far. Then you have Wang Qiang against Zidansek. I'm going to go with Wang Qiang there. Then you have 1-seeded Ashley Barty against Allison Van Yatomvik. I'm going to go with Barty there. Then you have 9-seeded Solane Stevens against Wang Yafan. I'm going to go with Solane Stevens there, although I think that's going to be competitive. Then you have Laura Siegman against Barbora Strykova. I'm going to go Siegman, which I think is going to be a very competitive match. Kristina Magnovic against Petra Kvitova. I'm going to go with Kvitova there. 30-seeded Carla Suarez Navarro against Pauline Paramer. We're going to go with Suarez Navarro there. 21-seeded Elise Mertens against Monica Nicolescu. We're going with Mertens. I'm going to go with Allison Risk over Ivana Jorvik. I'm going to go with Kiki Bertens over Taylor Towson. I'm going to go with Johanna Konta, your 19th seed, over Katerina Siniakova. I'm going to go with 25-seeded Amanda Anisimova over Magda Linette, although I think Linette can win. I'm not going to rule that out by any stretch of the imagination. I'm going to go with Julia Georges. She's your 18th seed over Varvana Flink. I'm going to go with Belinda Bencic over Kaya Kanepi, in which I think is going to be a very competitive match. Bencic is your 13th seed. I'm going to go with Angelique Kerber, your 5 seed, over Lauren Davis. I think that might be a competitive match as well. And then I'm going to go with, obviously, 11-seeded Serena Williams over Kaja Juvan. All right, before I do best bet, I want to talk about Kawhi Leonard for a minute. He is not committed yet. A lot of people seem to think that him going to the Los Angeles Lakers is a done deal. Do I think that? Not really. I need to see it to believe it, because I still think he wants to possibly go back to the Raptors and defend the title. That's the move I think he should make, but the right move might be going to the Lakers, because there's the case against Toronto that Lowry and Ibaka and Gasol are all getting past their primes, and the only sure thing that they have is Siakam, and the Lakers have Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and you would think that Kawhi would go there, and that would be the best big three in NBA history, which is true. That would be the best big three in NBA history. And the idea of Kawhi becoming the next great Lakers star, or him and Davis post LeBron, might be enticing to Kawhi, but the fact that Anthony Davis is there, and the idea of him being the next great Laker, might not appeal to him that much because Davis is there. I think the Clippers are out of it. I think it's between Lakers and Toronto, to be quite honest. There's no sense for him going to the Clippers unless the Clippers trade for a star that is on a bad team like Kevin Love or Bradley Beal. But we'll see. So, I think it's either Lakers or back to the Raptors. I think it's 50-50. I think that Raptors option looms larger than you think because they just won the title. And I think it would be a cool story if he went back there on a 1+1 deal. That's what I think he might do. If he goes back to the Raptors, it's going to be for a 1+1. But if he goes to the Lakers, it's going to be the 4-year max. But here's the thing, if he goes to the Lakers, crowded front court. If they try to trade Kyle Kuzma for a guard, then that's what they probably are going to end up doing. That's why it makes no sense to me that they had to throw in Josh Hart in that trade. Or they could, in theory, move Kyle Kuzma and for another guard that could fit into their cap space if they try to move Kuzma and attach a pick to it. So maybe that happens, who knows, but the Lakers are going to be in a tricky spot if they sign Kawhi. If I'm them, I just break up the cap space and sign Danny Green, sign a point guard that's still left on the market, and let Kawhi go elsewhere. That's what I would do if I'm the Lakers. But the Lakers become the title favorites if they land Kawhi. That's just the bottom line. If Kawhi goes elsewhere or back to Toronto, the title favorites are the Philadelphia 76ers, the Utah Jazz, maybe. Or if he goes back to the Raptors, it could be the Raptors to repeat. So, a lot of things are wide open, and we'll see what happens with Kawhi. Now, best bet of the day, brought to you by DraftKings. Yesterday did not go so well. There's a couple favorites that had lost. So, without further ado, here we go. I'm going to start Wimbelton tomorrow. I'm going to go with Sam Carey, who's a huge favorite, by the way. I didn't think he'd be that big of a favorite. And Millman's favored tomorrow morning, by the way. He's going to be on the parlay. I'm going to go with Marine Cilic, John Isner, Kane Shiorki, Joe Wilfred Songa. Now I'm going to switch to the women's for tomorrow. And I'm going to go with Ashley Barty, Haddad Maya, Solane Stevens, Wong Keong. Barbora Strykova is actually favored over Laura Siegman. I disagree with that one. That one I think could be an underdog winner. I'm going to go Carla Suarez Navarro and Elise Mertez. So that's $12.64 odds, wagering $1, payout $13.64. That's it for the podcast today. Tomorrow we're going to go over Wimbledon results, the other semifinal game in the World Cup between the Netherlands and Sweden, baseball, maybe Kawhi signs by the time we do this tomorrow, so we could have that to talk about, and my best bet for the 4th of July. I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.